So the Blazers got beat up by the Jazz last night. They're now 10-11. They've lost 3 in a row. And Dame has had a couple of rough games in a row. He has gotten a bit back on track from the beginning of the season when he was really struggling, but he also, again, has had 2 rough ones in a row now. He's not the only problem. We'll take a look at their defense soon here. To attempt to be positive a little, they've been great at home, really bad on the road, and their schedule does lighten up a bit moving forward. Even so, there's not a whole lot to be positive about right now. The one guy to get hyped over if you're a Blazers fan is probably Anthony Simons, who has been heating up from 3. He's also been kind of unstoppable in between shots, like mid-range or bordering right around the paint. He's currently shooting over 50% from mid-range and about 38% from 3. Anyway, they're the second worst defense in the league. The stats will tell you it's because they're getting smoked on threes. And we've got more of Chauncey Billups' aggressive defense, Cody Zeller and CJ double-teaming Mitchell. Whiteside's going to dive, and then from there it just becomes a race of you can close out to the open shooter. We got to see a Whiteside assist. That doesn't happen too often. Here's another one with the Conley screen. Same 2 guys, CJ and Cody Zeller. Anthony Simons has to dig in to help on the Gobert dive, which means Clarkson's just open in the corner. Now, they went away from that aggressive defense as the game went on. I mean, here they have Cody Zeller planting himself in front of the rim. And they do a good job on the initial thing, but then what ends up happening is CJ McCollum just can't get around the Gobert screen and everybody's too late. Now, in the previous game against the Warriors, Steph Curry happened, of course, but it wasn't just this. The real reason they lost was because the Warriors shot over 90% at the basket. And as you would have guessed, when they threw 2 guys at Steph Curry, the Warriors were prepared to deal with that. Right to Draymond, bounce pass to Looney, and another one here where it's Covington and Nurkic, but Steph is pretty much unaffected, and that's an easy pass to Draymond. Now let's head to Magic Sixers. The Sixers won, but I want to look at Franz Wagner because it's been a couple videos since I have. He had 27 points, and it wasn't just catch and shoot, so he was having some dynamic offensive moments. Here's a turnaround thing over Danny Green. These last 2 scores for him were cool because he looked really comfortable in the pick and roll. I mean, gets by Thibault, opposite hand layup over Embiid. And on this one, the way that he keeps the ball away from Maxey, but also muscles through him at the same time and kind of snakes his way to where Embiid doesn't really have a chance of blocking it. Wendell certainly helped. Franz Wagner looking crafty. He also had 5 assists. This was my favorite one because it was a split-second read to Gary Harris in the corner off the screen. Also benefited from the bounce, but whatever. Okay, maybe this one was actually my favorite assist from him. This is a bullet skip pass, once again to Gary Harris. Now the Rockets have won 3 games in a row. The big change they made was they stopped playing Daniel Tice. I mean, look at this screenshot as Christian Wood takes Jeremiah Robinson Earl off the dribble. Is it a coincidence that with no Daniel Tice, there's nobody in Christian Wood's way? Now there was still some double big minutes with Christian Wood and Şengün. The difference is that Şengün, unlike Daniel Tice, can do something like this. Another option that better spacing gives you is more cutting lanes, as Garrison Matthews gets that one from Jae'Sean Tate. We also got the return of Jokic. The best way to celebrate is with a perfect skip pass to Jeff Green. There's now a decent chance that MPJ is going to miss the rest of the season. Jamal Murray, we'll see. But as long as Jokic has just some okay talent around him, I feel like he can drag these guys to a decent spot in the West. Speaking of returns, well, this is actually Mobley's second game back. Blocks Porzingis. Now let's look at some Mobley defense that didn't show up in the stat sheet. Here's a good one where Luka's got the driving lane. Mobley meets him right there, forces the pass out. Now here's a great defensive possession on Porzingis where Mobley almost got himself into trouble but was able to recover to contest that, although Porzingis claims he got him on the arm. Here's another Mobley play. So he digs in on the Porzingis drive, gets back to Kleba, and then gets around the Porzingis screen just enough to at least contest that. Anyway, the Mavs did not have much besides Luka going 7 for 11 from 3. Now this was great. The Rockets allowed Kevin Porter Jr. to get his last rebound. So that is a missed 3. Şengün hits that, and don't you just love this? Isn't that just the best? Valanciunas 7 threes. Well, you know what, man? The Pelicans were right. Remember that one Woj tweet where it was like they wanted a shooter next to Zion? Okay, there you go. Zion also cleared for practice. All right. Anthony Edwards with the block and the alley-oop slam. Yeah, they're good, man. I think they're now a top 10 defense around number 8 or number 9. Beverly is out. He's missed the last 3 games. We'll see if that affects him until he comes back, but still, they're good. I believe I picked them for the 10th seed, which would put them in the play-in. And the Western Conference, it's pretty crowded around that area, so we'll see, but I mean, you got to be hyped if you're a Wolves fan.